Welcome to CBS This Morning. We expect this to be a critical week in the Democratic presidential race, with the focus shifting to South Carolina, which is where our Gayle King is in Charleston, the state's largest city, ahead of tomorrow's CBS News Democratic debate. And Gayle's been down there all weekend. Gayle, how's it going?
I was going to say, Anthony, as you know, I got off the set on Friday, went straight to the airport, and have been here ever since. And listen, we've spent a lot of time talking to voters who tell us they're going to be looking at this debate very closely because it's 5 days and counting until the big primary, and many of them told us they have not made up their mind. That was a surprise to me.
And that's a big deal because we've got Senator Bernie Sanders. He had a commanding victory in Nevada over the weekend. He's got 40% in the latest count over Joe Biden at 19, doubling up the number 2 position. But that map, that could change dramatically, and we could see a new frontrunner. Joe Biden would certainly hope so, with that big week down in South Carolina, Gayle.
It remains to be seen. South Carolina is the center of the political world this week. 7 Democratic candidates will be on that stage tomorrow night at the Gilliard Center. You can see it behind me. It's a spectacular building. Gives me goosebumps as we sit here knowing what's going to happen there tomorrow night. The debate, as you may have heard, is co-hosted by CBS News. We're very proud to be part of this. It's the last time that voters will see the candidates together before Saturday's South Carolina primary and the big Super Tuesday showdown next week. So this is a really big deal. Our CBS News Battleground Tracker shows former Vice President Joe Biden leading in South Carolina with 28%, but that number is down 17 points since last November, and Bernie Sanders is closing in. So this is what makes this primary different. This will be the first significant test of support among black voters who make up about 60% of the Democratic electorate in the state. Ed O'Keefe is here with more on that part of the story. So what can we expect to hear? Hello, Ed.
Welcome back to the campaign trail.
Yeah,
Good morning.
It's good to be here. What can we expect from the candidates?
Well, look, as you said, South Carolina has the largest percentage of African-American voters in an early primary state. Joe Biden has been leading among them, but his support has fallen 19% with them since the fall. Bernie Sanders won in Nevada over the weekend with support from women, Latino voters, and young voters.
My God, there are a lot of people here tonight.
Senator Bernie Sanders campaigned Sunday in the Super Tuesday state of Texas, speaking to crowds of thousands.
Now, I've been hearing, the establishment is getting a little bit nervous about our campaign.
Sanders now has the most delegates and votes, not to mention all the momentum, something former Vice President Joe Biden is hoping to curb this week in South Carolina.
The African-American community in South Carolina can make a judgment about who the next president of the United States is going to be.
Doing well in South Carolina means winning over the state's predominantly black voters, and Biden's support has been slipping.
What I'm expecting is to make the case to the people here in South Carolina that they have an opportunity to essentially determine who the next president is.
The biggest hurdle for moderate Democrats right now is consolidating enough support to stop Sanders. Some Democrats, like South Carolina Congressman Jim Clyburn, are concerned that the senator, a self-described Democratic socialist, will alienate some voters.
This is South Carolina, and South Carolinians are pretty leery about that title, socialist.
CBS News has learned that Clyburn is expected to endorse Biden on Wednesday, and Congresswoman Donna Shalala, a Democrat representing parts of South Florida, is raising concerns about Sanders' comments about the late Cuban dictator Fidel Castro on 60 Minutes.
We're very opposed to the authoritarian nature of Cuba. But, it's unfair to simply say everything is bad. When Fidel Castro came into office, you know what he did? He had a massive literacy program. Is that a bad thing? Even though Fidel Castro did it?
There's a lot of dissidents imprisoned in Cuba.
That's right, and we condemn that.
Now, while the candidates are here today and tomorrow for the debate, they're not going to spend all week in this state because, as we mentioned, there are 14 states holding contests just 8 days from now on Super Tuesday. They'll be doling out more than 1,300 delegates on that day. That's why they want to spend some time trying to find delegates in other parts of the country
Well,
as
if they're not spending time here, they sure are leaving a lot of commercials. It's amazing what you see when you go out of New York and see all the commercials. It's a big world out there. Thank you very much, Ed.